And not just that, we started using these libraries, we call them libraries. They're not physical spaces, they're not shelves with books. They're actually living the experience. It's a living library. So these living libraries became platforms for spreading good behavior among children by reading stories that relate to certain themes. So for example, we read them stories about the environment, anti-littering, energy conservation, water conservation. And the children, just by reading the stories, no lessons, nothing, their behavior increased 80% just because of reading a story on a particular theme. Because all of us know that we learn better when we hear a story. It's evolution, it's who we are as a species. And also what we did then, after our program became very successful, is that we started training adults to create these living libraries in their own neighborhood. Not necessarily in the mosque, it could be a church, it could be a community center, it could be your backyard, it doesn't matter. And we tell everybody we train, you have to pay it forward. So if I train you, you have to train someone else, and then you tell that someone, you have to train someone else. And that's how the Wheel of Reading program is spreading around the world. And in our training, it's very, very interactive. Like Confucius said, we make all the people who train with us, they actually participate in the training. They don't just sit and listen. They give feedback, they tell us what they think, and we incorporate what they give us into the next training. So they feel that they are part of the program in actually building it. And the program is about empowerment, it's about leadership, it's about fundraising, it's about voluntary work, it's about sustainability, because these champions who create the living library in their neighborhood actually end up being leaders in their community, respected and looked up to, because they are changing the children, they are changing the community to the better. And the effect is not just on the children being readers, it's also, as I said, on the adults themselves, and most of them are women, that it's not just they've become leaders, because they know how to read aloud, they've found better jobs. You know, when you read aloud, it's about eye contact, it's about composure, and they've created their own businesses, because by creating the living library, they've discovered inside them their own potential to create change, they've felt how they can be responsible to make a difference in their community. And the key issue is because they are free to stop whenever they want, right? So it is their project, not our project. Nobody in the community knows about Wheel of Reading. All they know is that this wonderful lady started the program in her neighborhood, the children are doing better, so she gets all the credit. She never stops, because that's her incentive. And I'm going to share with you another story just to show how this really works, not just in changing the child, the adult, but actually the whole community. So in one city in the south of Jordan, we went to make a training on how to read aloud and how to start your own library. So one of the women, when we first came in, she told me, why don't you build us a library? You know, it's like, why don't you do something for me? And I said, you know, if you want a library, you should build your own library. That was it. She took the training for 2 days. 6 months later, she calls me and she says, Rana, we want to invite you to inaugurate their library in their city. And we went, and what was the story? She started to read in her mosque. The children went from 5, 10, 20, 75 children come every week to listen to her reading stories for children. There was no more space in the mosque. So this local contractor volunteered to build an extra room. All the community went and bought paint, nails, shelves, and they really made their own library. Now, what's the difference? If I built them a library, nobody would have taken care of it because it's given for free. When they built it, it's still running till now. This was like 2 years ago. Only funded by the community itself and sustainable. So yes, the Wheel of Reading program works to change children, adults, and the whole community. And it's spread around the world.